This section is the famous fight with Grendel scene. And you notice here that Grendel, when he comes to the hall, it's not the first time he's come to the hall. And now when he puts forth his hand to open the doors burst asunder at his touch because he's that powerful a monster that he just bursts right in. And when he comes in, he immediately grabs some of the warriors that are lying there waiting for him, some of the gates that are waiting for him, and he devours them, bolts them down, hands and feet and all. It's a very graphic scene. But when he comes to Beowulf, Beowulf has made this vow that he's not going to fight with any swords against the monster. And consequently, that's a saving vow. It's a vow that he boasts he wants to try his own mettle against the monster, but it saves him in the end. Because what happens is that no sword can pierce Grendel. And so when Beowulf grapples with him, mano a mano, he actually is at an advantage because he's not using a sword against him at all. Well, the two grapple, and the whole hall rings with the sound of their wrestling. And eventually the strength of the gate wins out against the strength of Grendel. And when Grendel feels that he's being defeated, he tries to flee. But Beowulf has him tight, has him gripped tight. And it's that sense that evil itself is terrified of a hero, of a heroic character, of a good man. And Grendel wants to flee from the hall and flee back to his own cavern in order to hide from Beowulf. But Beowulf won't let him go. And he grapples him in the arm, and finally he tears off the arm, and Grendel goes fleeing into the night to bleed to death in his own hall. And so he's defeated by the power of Beowulf. What was originally a boast on the part of Beowulf, that is, he was going to fight without a sword, has now become his triumph. It's been the thing that allows him to win out over Grendel. And he hangs up this tremendous arm up in the rafters for everybody to see as a sign of the fact that he's actually defeated this horrible monster. So that's the end of these three sections, this fight with Grendel. In the next section, there's a slight shift that occurs here because Hrothgar comes in and he tells this story to Beowulf. And the poet is taking a lay, a song that would have been popular at the time, and incorporating it into his own poem. So we see here next, in this next section, a story that Hrothgar is telling as a sort of edification story or a contextual story, part of the rejoicing over the fact that Grendel has been defeated. So that's in this next section.